This is Pete Scott, and this is my apartment. Now, what I'm about to say has nothing to do, it's really important, nothing to do with what I'm going to share with you today. But if you follow me here on YouTube, you will see that my apartment has changed. Yes, you haven't gone crazy, maybe I have, but I had a 60-minute makeover. I decided to move this table from up there to down here and move the sofa to over here. So now I have this space up here. So let me know in the comments what you think, and without any further delay, let's get on with today's video, which is how to shop your way to confidence.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking at, I was thinking about getting the new Alexa. Look at it, this one here. What do you think?
I don't think we need one.
We don't need anything else?
We don't need anything else.
Okay, and what about the holiday we were going to book?
No.
We can go to...
I just want to stay.
We can go to India for 9 days. It's so cheap. It's just, look, per person.
Nope.
Okay, all right.
I'm happy here.
One other thing, just quickly, but this one I might get in trouble for. I'm looking at a new Porsche in this colour. What do you think?
No!
What? Okay, so welcome to today's video, and you probably guessed it already that I am doing some online shopping, but is it true that when we want to feel better about ourselves, or we want to have that lift in energy, we go shopping? We don't think about it, it's just something that we do. Even if it's not a new Porsche, it might be just something online, like Amazon. How have you ordered on Amazon Prime today? But today, I want to talk about how you can shop your way to confidence in a different way. But before we do, showreel. Alright, so now you've had a guided tour of my apartment. It's time to get down to the real business. And for today's lesson, I'm super excited to share the steps with you. And the reason why I say this is because this is one tip or step that has profoundly shifted my own confidence and my overall self-esteem. So of course, I'm happy and grateful that I can share it here with you on YouTube. I alluded to the point of today's video in the introduction, where I was looking at holidays and looking at buying a new car, and then I believe the other thing was a Kindle or something like that. And the reason for that is to really prime you to start thinking, hold on a second, what do I do, as in you? What do you do when it comes to having a little bit of pain in life, or maybe work is stressing you out, or maybe you just feel a bit run down? You see, it's so easy to reach for the external things, and especially with how the internet, and bearing in mind you're watching this online right now, has changed how we behave as human beings. It's especially changed consumerism. Now, if we feel any type of pain, what we can do is go straight online or just on our phone on an app. We can go to our old friend Amazon Prime. I put some other things here, book a holiday, buy some new clothes, or if you're out and about, maybe just buy a coffee. There's nothing wrong with any of these things, but what we're really trying to achieve by buying these things, by consuming them, is basically, I put a few emotions here, but it's positive emotions. Happiness could be one, inspiration, or maybe some excitement in our life. Maybe we're just bored doing the 9 to 5, the rat race. We think to ourselves, I just want to treat myself. Look, you are valuable as a human being. I don't need to tell you that. But what if I was to tell you that instead of needing these things, there is a different way. There's a way that you can instantly access the emotions that you want. Look, at the end of the day, go out and buy what you want. You only live once, but at the same time, confidence is one of these things that we do not just have or do not have. You know this already from my other videos. Confidence increases and can compound, but also it can decrease, and you do not want your confidence getting to a stage where it becomes a descending spiral. Are you with me on this? And unfortunately, what we tend to do, and I've been guilty of this myself, is that when times get a little bit tough, we go to the external and we keep buying and we keep finding these shortcuts to happiness, to excitement, to inspiration, or whatever it is. I want to give you a different way, like I say in this video, and it is to shop your way to ultimate confidence, but not through what I'm sharing right here. Not this, but you can access this without spending a penny. So let me magically wipe this off the board, and then I'm going to show you how. All right, so let me introduce you to emotional shopping, or in other words, choosing your emotions in advance. I want to think about this for a moment. We all have a strategy for our emotions in life. Yep, you heard me right. You have a strategy for your emotions in life. You might be looking at me now going, Pete, I don't have a strategy for my emotions. My response to you is, if you don't have a strategy, that in itself is a strategy of not having a strategy, which is not a great strategy for you to have good emotions or to have ultimate confidence. Most people, what they do is they choose their emotions only after an event because they themselves are event-led. I don't know what the exact stat is, but I would say 99% of people are reactive when it comes to their emotions instead of proactive. That's why consumerism has absolutely blown up. One of the reasons why it has taken over the world and why there is so much credit card debt and just people who are filling up their homes with things, but they feel empty on the inside. I want you to flip the switch, reverse this completely, and instead I want you to choose your emotions in advance. And the way that you can do this, and it's fun to do, I've done this myself since around 2012, is to wake up in the morning and decide the emotions you want to feel, and then go out there and feel those emotions throughout the day. Let me share how you do this. Right, this is somebody's day from start to finish. Let's say they wake up in the morning and they stump their toe on the end of their bed. Are they happy about it? Are you happy when you stump your toe? Are you like, oh my goodness, look, I've got a toe? Of course not. We're normally pretty peed off that we've hit our toe on the end of the bed. Then you go through to the bathroom and there's no toothpaste. What a start to the day. You see, most people, when that happens, they're already saying, look, it's just going to be one of those days, sad face. But then you open your online banking and you can see that your boss has paid you, or the company you work for has paid you an extra £1,000 this month. Now, don't say you'd be skeptical, just play the game for a moment. How do you feel about it? Well, most people would say, yeah, I feel pretty good. So, of course, now an extra £1,000, fantastic. Now a different emotion. But then you arrive at work, your boss calls you into the office and sits you down and says, listen, do you remember that we were talking about this performance-based pay? And you say, yes. And then they say to you, we made a mistake. We were meant to hit the minus £1,000 instead of putting the extra £1,000. And now you owe your company £2,000. Like taking candy away from a baby, now you're really upset about it. These are extreme scenarios and maybe they won't ever happen in your life, but actually this is how we live our life. When something good happens to us, we feel good, true or false. When something bad happens, then we feel bad. And actually what happens is loads of good and bad things go on every single day in your life. And it doesn't matter if you are a billionaire, you're gonna have good and you're gonna have challenges. And if your day is like this, up and down, which it will be, how are you going to feel at the end of the day? I've showed this diagram over 1,000 times, and every single time that I've shown this diagram, I ask people, how do you feel at the end of a day like this? Nobody's ever looked at me and said, Pete, I'd feel amazing. You know what they say? Pete, that looks exhausting. And I say, this is life though. This is the strategy that 99% of people have for their life. Something good happens, oh, I feel good. Something bad happens, oh, I feel bad. This is why people have big sofas that they collapse on at the end of the day and say, I'm exhausted. Are they exhausted though? Or are they just mentally exhausted from playing this yo-yo effect throughout the day? So how can you do things differently? Instead of being reactive about your emotions, what you can do is you can condition your mind to feel the emotions on demand that actually serve you, that actually empower you, make you feel like you can achieve more and be more. How do you do this? Well, you do it very simply. Number one is what you do is you wake up in the morning and you physically decide the 3 emotions that you are going to feel today. You say, okay, which 3 emotions do I want to feel to have a fantastic day today? I normally choose gratitude, I choose excitement, and I choose inspiration. Inspiration isn't technically an emotion, but it's a state of mind. So with gratitude, okay, with excitement, and with inspiration, imagine if you have those three emotions and you carry it through your day. No matter what happens, good, bad, or otherwise, you're able to maintain these three emotions or state of mind. Now, of course, you might say, Pete, I'm not a robot, how can I do that? Things happen. Yeah, they do. Sure, it's not going to be a perfect straight line. It's still going to be things that affect you and you go up a little bit. It's still going to go down a little bit. But what if you can fluctuate up here instead? You see, the human mind is capable, you are capable of feeling up to around about 700 different emotions. But you've conditioned, unconsciously and consciously, you've conditioned yourself to feel between 5 and 10 consistent emotions per day. But if I was to ask you to sit down and write out all those emotions and then to read them back, would they be emotions that make you feel confident? Would they be emotions that empower you and move you forward? I've done this exercise so many times with companies, and you wouldn't believe the amount of times that somebody will break down in tears halfway through the exercise. You know why? Because when they actually step back and they reflect and they write down the emotions, they look at it and they say, wow, I've written 5 consistent emotions and 3 of them are not serving. Anxiety, stress, worry, you name it. You see, we believe that things are going to be better, so that's when I'm going to feel better. But all the studies show that actually, even if you won the lottery, you would feel great for about a year, and then you will return back to your calm. I'll never forget this happening in my life, where I got a bigger apartment, I got the business that I wanted, and I was traveling all around the world. And just a few years before that, I was basically not homeless, but one step away from homeless in London. But guess what? I was stood in this big house that I was living in, and I was like, wow, my happiness is pretty much exactly the same as when I was broke. But sure, I feel fulfilled because I'm achieving goals, but actually I was happy then and I'm happy now. The problem with this strategy of feeling good when things are good and feeling bad when things are bad is that we then live a life of believing that, oh, you know what, when this happens to me, I'll feel good. Or if I can buy that thing, I'll feel amazing. And it becomes a life of chasing, and it is exhausting. Look, I'm the first person to say, go out and enjoy yourself, buy the things that you want in your life, but not at the expense of your peace. If it's costing your peace, it's too expensive. Why do you need to do all these things to feel good if you can just simply access the things that already exist inside you? I call them your inner resources. Your inner resources exist within you right now. You've been happy in your life. Therefore, happiness exists within you. And you can practice it, and the more you practice it, the more it becomes your go-to behavior, the more it becomes your go-to emotion. You can practice feeling empowered, you can practice confidence. And by waking up every single day and saying, you know what, I choose to feel this way, that way you're going to start to condition, or recondition, I should say, your mind to work in your favor instead of feeling like it's against you. Your mind is actually trying to always work in your favor anyways. It's just the problem is we give it poor programming. We don't think about our strategy for our emotions. We don't go emotional shopping. You know the best thing about waking up in the morning and choosing 3 emotions that will empower you and serve you for the day? It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. Right now, as soon as you end this YouTube video, guess what? You can sit down and you can reflect. You can say, which 3 emotions can I choose which will make me feel great? And you might say, Pete, this is too good to believe. Well, you know what? It's been working in my life and I've seen it work in countless other people's lives too. The problem is, and you've heard this in a previous video from me, if you keep practicing and playing out the negative, you are going to amplify the negative. You do need to practice this. You need to take the next 30 days and every day wake up and choose the emotions that empower you and help you. Because only by practicing over a period of time will it become literally your new conditioned behavior. People do look at me and they say, Pete, why are you so positive? Why are you so happy? And I say, do I need a reason? Why do you need a reason? Choosing a life of happiness, choosing a life of feeling good even when times are difficult, doesn't mean that you ignore the difficult. You can be driving on along a cliff. It doesn't mean that you don't see the cliff. It just means that you're focused on where you're going. You have the awareness of the cliff. I'm not aware when I have challenges in my life. And sometimes there's some very difficult things that I've been through. There's people in your life, maybe you've been through extremely difficult times. Does it help you more when you're negative, or does it help you more when you can choose a better emotion to serve you through the process? That's what I want to share for today's video. As always, comment below. Let me know how you're getting on with these lessons, how it's helping you, how it is even inspiring you to create that confidence, and more than that, become the person that you truly deserve to be. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again in tomorrow's video. See you there.